All right, everyone. Welcome to the Coach Harry Show. Thanks for tuning in tonight. Thanks for joining us. Kendall, Grayson, Coach Harry, and Chad Purdy is our guest tonight.
Big applause for the first-timer. Big applause, first-timer.
I knew that'd be a popular one. That's good. That's good. Chad, obviously, first year with the team here out of college, and been with us, on and off, but mostly with us this season, and just got your first pro win. We'll talk about that, but how's it been so far, and how have you liked the area here?
Honestly, it's been awesome. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, everyone's been so supportive. Like, all the teammates, everybody, fans, Booster Club, everyone's been awesome.
Good. Yeah, glad to hear it. Coach, we'll get into the games and get into the games in depth as we always do. But here in the opening segment, just like to kind of get your quick thoughts on it. Obviously, you get 3 points there with the win on Sunday, but a couple of tough results on Friday and Saturday. Overall, what'd you think about the weekend?
I don't want to say disappointing. It was something that we were hoping to get more points. Obviously, you go into a series like that, and this is the time of year when everyone's every morning, you go to the website and you look at those things called standings, and it's just the way it is in sports. People start watching that, and your head would be in the sand if you didn't realize that this weekend was a fairly big weekend for us, and we were hoping to get some more points than we did, and we'll get into some of the situations where I think Friday night I give them a lot of credit. They jumped on us a little bit, and as I said, overall what I liked the best was we played Sunday, and we kind of got back to where we were playing before the break, and we'll get into the break situation. I'll talk a little bit about that as we go along, and but I thought Sunday, the way we responded after 2 losses, I was really pleased with it. A couple of people said, "Oh, that was a great win," and I talked to a coach, and he says, "Well, what'd you think?" I said, "I wasn't surprised that we won on Sunday. I liked our response, and for us to play that way on Sunday wasn't." To me personally, wasn't that big of a surprise. It was the way we've been playing. As I said, going into the before the break, probably for a good month, not as consistent, but again, we were playing that way. And as I said, I liked it. So when you have a response like that, hopefully we can build on it and go to Monroe this weekend.
And the Monroe series coming up against a very good team, a team that's been towards the top of the standings. But if you want to, just talk about kind of the personnel situation here for the weekend that we just had. Obviously, Zach White didn't play. He's a big piece of what you guys do. You signed Caleb Melanson. He's back for the one game on the Saturday night of last week. So just get everyone up to speed on that and how that went going into the series. Yeah,
well, Whitey got hurt, on the Thursday before we left, and that hurts. And then Mott went to Macon, for the weekend, and he won't be back this weekend. I'm not sure what his status is, but you lose 2 guys like that in your lineup, it takes a big hold from us. But other guys, as Boots always says, it's an opportunity for somebody, and I thought the guys stood up and played pretty well for us. So it's just the lines were a little jumbled and things like that, but those guys came in. We brought the big guy in on. For the weekend and played Saturday, and it probably wasn't the outcome that I think everybody thought was going to happen in that situation there. But you know what, I thought he did a great job, because when he's there, it diffused a lot of malarkey, I guess, if you want to really call it that. And so he was there. Just the presence, being around was good, and I think the guys enjoyed him being around. So, but that's kind of where we're at right now. I'm not sure what the lineup's going to look like this weekend. I think it's probably going to be a lot like it was last weekend, the way we played on Sunday. So I'm happy with it. We played 3-3, and as I said, this weekend, hopefully we can go down there and muster up some points and keep in the hunt here.
Sounds good. All right, we'll take our first break here on the show and come back and talk about the Friday game. Thank you.
When you're craving that slow smoke flavor done right here in Winston-Salem, there's only one place to go, Honky Tonk Smokehouse. From tendered pulled pork and fall-off-the-bone ribs to fresh house-made sides, Honky Tonk has it all. Not a meat lover? They've got delicious vegan options too. And when it's time to party, let Honky Tonk Smokehouse handle the catering and event planning. They'll bring the flavor to you. Stop by 145 Jonestown Road and taste why the locals here can't get enough. Honky Tonk Smokehouse.
What are you doing, bub?
Just fixing my chair.
You should call Contract Business Solutions.
Good idea. I'll give them a call.
Proudly serving the Piedmont Triad area for over 17 years, Contract Business Solutions partners with leading manufacturers to create innovative, budget-friendly workspaces. From design and layout to delivery and installation, explore our capabilities at cbsworkspaces.com. Looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate around Winston-Salem and the Triad? Meet Jennifer Sapp, your trusted local realtor. With nearly 30 years of deep experience, Jennifer specializes in everything from historic homes and remodels to investment properties, college town housing, and short sales. She's known for honesty, integrity, and making the process as stress-free as possible. Ready to make your move? Call 336-782-3148 or visit jensapprealty.com today.
Two pillows, endless possibilities. At Cotton & Crate, we make it easy to refresh your home season after season. Our 18 by 18 and 12 by 20 pillow sizes pair perfectly with our seasonal collections of interchangeable covers, so you can refresh your style anytime without cluttering up your closet. We're proud to team up with the Twin City Thunderbirds, celebrating hometown spirit and the comfort of home on and off the ice. Thunderbirds fans, enjoy $5 off your order at cottonandcrate.com with the code TBIRDS5OFF. Cotton & Crate, two pillows, endless possibilities.
Okay, everyone, we'll try this again. Welcome back to the Coach Harry Show. Kendall, Grayson, Coach Harry, and Chad Purdy with us this week. Coach, Coach, we'll get into the Friday game here to break down the first game of the weekend here on the show. So, you come out Friday and a couple of goals there in the first period against you, a power play goal, even strength goal. Roman Kramer has a good night offensively, has both your goals in the game. But you're down there 3-1. They get one, pretty late, or at least in the last 9 minutes, I guess, in the first period. So just take us back to Friday night, going into the weekend, and coming out of that period down by a couple.
Yeah, I knew it was going to be a tough start for us. The one thing is I've talked to a bunch of coaches, even the coach of the other team came to me after the game and just talked about, when you have a break like that, and I talked to a coach tonight before I came here, and I said, what about doing that? And it's tough. So the rust is a little bit there, and I don't know what the solution is. We've done it. I've done it before. I've done different things. This year we did it this way. I still think we came out a little flat, and I give them credit. They jumped on us, and we did some mistakes there, especially in the first period. There, we didn't rotate on the power play, and I had three guys around one guy, and the one guy shot it in the net for the second goal there. So we kind of got behind the eight ball pretty fast there, and I thought after that we battled hard. But as I said, when you're in those situations like that, and we talked about this earlier on in the season, when you get down 2-0 early on like that, it's a tough battle to come back, especially when a team is they knew they had to jump on us, and they did. And as I said, I give them credit, but we had to be better in that first period. We weren't great, and we paid the price for it.
No goals in the second. You don't allow any goals either.
Yeah.
What'd you think about the second period and then moving forward?
Well, I thought we got better and better every night, every shift, and you could see it starting to come. And then the third period, I didn't mind it. We just kept playing, and as I said, it wasn't our night, and it was disappointing. And I think the guys were a little disappointed that we didn't put on I guess I don't want to say effort, because I think the effort was there. I just think the execution wasn't as sharp as it has, and we have to be. We talk about our identity, and our identity that night wasn't where it should have been. And again, we're not losing a couple guys that we lost who maybe offensive type guys. When you get behind the eight ball like that, it puts a lot of pressure on situations where you're trying to score, and it maybe is not our forte. So, but we battled hard, and as I said, at the end of the game, I thought we got better, and I was hoping Saturday night we could carry it back on.
Yeah. Kramer gets a power play goal there in the third period, 5-on-3, and he scores both the goals.
Yeah.
Boots gets a couple of assists. Gus got an assist in the game. Keeley got an assist in the game. Anything offensively that you would like to spotlight there? I think that was at the time the 30th power play goal of the season scored by your group. Anything like that you'd like to touch on from Friday?
The power play is starting to come again. You lose two guys that are on the power play. That kind of hurts you a little bit. So, but no, I thought thought the power play was fine. And as I said, I thought we got back into the game there. And as I said, it was one of those ones where you're hoping that something was going to happen. We pulled the goalie, and again we didn't get the outcome that we wanted. But I always have to look at when you lose a game like that, you got to take whatever positive out of it, because you got 3 games in 2.5 days, and you can't you can talk about the mistakes, or you can talk about situations, but you have to grab onto what was positive and jump on the bandwagon right away and take it the next day. And so that's what I did. I as I said, I thought we got better and better, and we were hoping Saturday we would come out and be storming a little bit.
Yeah. And we'll get into Saturday's game here coming up, and after the next break. But obviously, Chad here is able to play Saturday and Sunday. Comes in halfway through Saturday. But I think we spoke about him earlier this season. But just tell fans about the goaltender that you have here.
Well, I give him a lot of credit. He earned a job at the start. And I'll be honest with you, and you could probably ask 15 people here. He probably was the 3rd guy on the depth chart at the start of training camp, and he earned himself a job, and I give him a lot of credit. Guys come in here, and the guys loved him and liked the way he played, and he was a good guy, and as I said, he earned himself a job. And in this business here, a lot of times situations happen. Skinner came back. And that was tough for him, and we released him. But he came back here, and I don't know. You've been here about a month and a half, I guess, about a month and a half, and what he went through for a month and a half. It's not as easy as people think. You're part of the team, and as he just mentioned, he liked it here, and the guys are good, and he had fun. But when you're not playing, that's tough, and that's probably the number one question I got is why wasn't Purdy playing? Why wasn't Purdy playing? And it's my job to make sure players are put in positions to succeed. And you don't, with our situation where we're at, and that's on me. And as I said, I had to do some things. And don't get me wrong, I'd love to have put him in the day he got here and see how he was. And maybe last year we might have been able to do it, but this year it's a situation. And him and I talked quite a few times about it. And I told him, when you get your chance, take the ball and run with it. And the guy upstairs, I think, he looks at situations like that, and he was put in a position to go out and maybe be relaxed, and we're down 5-1, and he played 10 great minutes, and we gave him the opportunity the next day, and he ran with it. So I give him a lot of credit to hang in there and do what he did, and the one thing I told him, as I said, before the game on Sunday, I said, if you're on the bench and as a coach, whenever you make a change like that, or like last year there, we always talked about Joe Candalosi scoring that goal and how the bench reacted, and I don't think anybody else really noticed that, but that's something that I thought, I was like, wow, this, that's pretty cool. And he went in the other night there, and the whole bench jumped up, and one guy ran down, the 40 ran down and said, let's play for this guy and go for that. And I said that's pretty cool. You haven't played yet a pro game, you're just walking into a situation like that, and you got 18 guys or 17 guys standing up and saying, we want to help you here. So that's a credit to him, his personality, and what the teammates think of him. So I'm proud of him, and as I said, he's done a great job.
Absolutely, yeah. Chad, we'll hear from you after the break. We'll take a break and come back and get into that Saturday game a little bit more specifically.
You can give me some money later for all that talk.
Thank you.
Gwin Services has been serving North Carolina for over 50 years, ensuring the safety and comfort of our customers' homes. We take pride in bringing together the best electricians, plumbers, and heating and cooling technicians to bring convenience and unbeatable value to our customers. Life can be hectic. What better way to simplify than to have one company you trust to take care of all of your home's repair needs? Since 1972, integrity and customer satisfaction have been at the heart of everything we do. We are proud to have built a name our neighbors trust, one that provides peace of mind and a service that can be relied on, today, tomorrow, and for years to come. Thank you for trusting Gwin Services with your home. We are proud to stand behind the work we do every single day to serve our friends and neighbors here in North Carolina. We are Gwin Services. One call does it all.
Being your best is hard. You gotta take care of yourself. You got your husband.
Let's put in a pool. For the kids.
For the kids. Forget the car. How about a motorcycle?
And if you own a business?
We need servers from, like, this century.
Yeah.
At a Legacy Federal Credit Union, we're committed to helping you be your best you. Whether it's with an unbeatable car loan rate, home equity line of credit, or small business help.
Who's the best?
Visit alegacy.org for our best rates.
I want to stop losing sleep over this. I want to know that surgery is the right decision. I want to protect what I've built. I want a plan designed just for me. I want to know that I'm in excellent hands. I want the latest and greatest. I want to continue to grow, no matter what life throws my way.
For the best surgical care, you want Novant. Novant Health. Best surgeons, amazing nurses, remarkable care.
Maple Chase Golf and Country Club offers the best in recreational amenities in the Triad. Come enjoy a meal at the Pine Brook Bar and Grill, relax by our pool and cabana, and gear up at the Pro Shop while sharpening your skills on our 9,000 square foot putting green, and play around on our 18-hole Ellis Maples Design Championship Golf Course. You can find out more at maplechasecc.com. That's maplechasecc.com.
Flow Offer to Purchase makes it easy for you to generate an appraisal for a vehicle online in under 5 minutes. You can confidently use Flow Offer to Purchase to determine your vehicle's trade-in value or to get a real offer to sell it to us. Here at Flow, we've always had a transparent, interactive appraisal process that our customers love. We developed our Flow Offer to Purchase tool to offer you that same great experience online or through our Flow Garage app anytime, anywhere. Using Flow Offer to Purchase is simple. Either enter your license plate number or VIN, and the system will pull up basic information about your vehicle. Some vehicles have options or extras that need to be selected in order to pull an accurate value. Then just tell us about the current condition of a few things like your tires, dents and scratches, or mechanical issues. From there, a real offer on your vehicle, whether you buy from us or not, is just a click away. Just a heads up, our staff will check over your vehicle to ensure your Flow Offer to Purchase is accurate. Your satisfaction is our priority. Flow Automotive dealerships have processed tens of thousands of vehicles using Flow Offer to Purchase, which has resulted in buying many thousands of cars from customers. Try Flow Offer to Purchase for free today. You can access this tool by clicking Sell Trade on flowauto.com or your dealer site by starting the Sell Trade dialog in the center of the homepage.
Finish strong. Start here. Atrium Health Wake Forest Baptist.
When you compete at your best, you need a team that keeps you moving. At Yadkin Physical Therapy, we're proud to be the official physical therapy provider of the Twin City Thunderbirds. From the first evaluation to hands-on treatment, we focus on what matters, reducing pain, restoring mobility, and building confidence. Because performance isn't just about recovering, it's about training smarter, strength, stability, balance, and control. Our therapists tailor every plan to each individual so you can return to the ice, the gym, or the job feeling stronger. The same level of care we provide the Thunderbirds is here for our whole community. Students, weekend warriors, and families helping you stay healthy and perform at your best. Yadkin Physical Therapy in Yadkinville. Call 336-677-1800 or email ypt@yadkinphysicaltherapy.com.
Okay, Coach. Welcome back to the Coach Harry Show. Thank you.
That's a clap for you.
That is.
It wasn't a very good clap.
No, it wasn't. No, I'm working hard tonight. I'm earning my paycheck tonight. All right, Coach, we'll talk about the win coming up here on Sunday, the 3-2 final. Chad, my first question to you is, obviously your first game is huge, but your first start, I think, is something else when you know what's going to be your net. At what point did you find out that you were going to play that game and start that game on Sunday?
I think either the night before or the morning of, one and two. Like, it was that Harry was just going to let me know, and just like what was going to happen, and obviously
the $64,000 question.
That's it. You got to make that work first. That's right.
Yeah.
All right, so Coach, we'll get in the game. So there's no score through the first period, and that was different than the first two nights in which we had some goals, really each way in the first period. So you go into the second period there, and special teams ends up being the story of that second period. And I talked about it on the broadcast. It's two specialty teams goals, a power play goal and a shorthanded goal. The shorthanded goal is the first one all season long, which I'm sure you don't practice trying to go out and score shorties, but it's good when you can get one there. So just talk about those two goals. First, the power play goal and the shorthanded goal that gave you a 2-0 lead after two.
Well, like we just talked about it, about how we were playing, and I thought Sunday we just played the way we played. The message to the team was is go and play. It's a game, and just put everything on the table. Put your heart and everything on the table, and when we leave here tonight, if I have to carry you to the bus, then I don't care how tired you are. Let's get on the bus, but just go and play hockey. It's a game, and I think the guys went out and just I think they were starting to feel better as we were going along on the weekend, and as I said, Sunday I just thought, for anybody who watched, and I think most of you watched the games in Binghamton, that's the way we played in Binghamton, and the way we played the week before that. So I think it was just a matter of us time to get back to where we were, and the guys just went out and played, and I wasn't surprised at the way we were, and this guy made a couple nice saves when we needed them, and our power play is we got two units right now, and as I said, I think there's a little bit of a competition for them, and which is good, and I like what is going on, and 40 scored that goal there, I think the first one there, and kind of gave us a spark there, and I think that made us feel good that all of a sudden now we're up 1-0, and the way we were playing, I think it gave everybody a lot of energy, and a lot of guys had a lot of confidence back there, and as I said, so I just like the way the atmosphere was on the bench. That's when I know if we're going or we're not going. You can, when you're standing on the bench, you can feel the energy or not the energy, or the heads are down or the heads are up, or guys talking. So I liked the first period, and as I said, even the second period, I liked the way it was going. And as I said, we took advantage of a power play, which was great for us, because those things always really energize you when you score that. And then obviously Pesty and Sally, they scored that short-handed goal, and I think that just kind of really set the tempo for the rest of the game for us.
Yep. You mentioned the two power play units, and I'll ask you this question. How are you managing that, through a sequence? It's probably situational, but obviously, maybe you'd like to go half and half, but you can't if you've got, the five guys working the puck around the zone and that sort of thing. So, how do you manage that, trying to get those both units on the same power play, or maybe you just try to let the one do as much damage as they can?
Well, you said that right there. Like, if the unit's inside the offensive zone and they never leave it for, a lot of times they'll stay on a little longer, or, sometimes I go on a hunch, and you go with what you think, and maybe you leave them on too long, but sometimes it works out. So you go on how you're feeling and how the players are, and as I said, it's more of a feel for how I look at it, and then the players, how we've kind of got lines are mixed up right now on the power play, the regular shift line and then the power play line, so it's kind of mixed up the way we're structured right now. So you try to go not too long, and hopefully they bring a lot of energy for us.
And so you mentioned the shorthanded play too that Pesty made back behind the net, and Sally a great goal. So that's where it was after the second period. You go into the third period, they have an answer eventually. They get on the board there to make it 2-1, but then Jacob Schnapp scores a massive goal, and that really kind of put the game away. They do get one of the extra attackers very late. So what'd you think about the third period?
Well, I still haven't seen the first goal there. I have to watch it again. But as I said, it was just to go. And as I said, it was one of those situations where you like to see the goose egg for the big guy here beside me. But as I said, that team there to shut them out for a whole game, I thought we did a pretty good job there. away from the puck. So I was happy with it, and but it was 2-1, and then obviously Schnappe come up with that, the big goal there. He scored a couple of times. In PD there, he scored a couple big goals, and it's kind of the same way. So that made us feel good. I think we responded pretty fast after their goal into our goal. So I think that put them back on their heels. So other than pulling the goalie and scoring that one late, I felt we were in command all the time, and it was just a matter of trying to put it away.
Yeah. Chad, you hit a lot of milestones here this weekend. You get your first playing time as a pro, first start as a pro, and then when that game's over, you have your first win as a pro goaltender. So what was that like? Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you, guys. I mean, it was super fun. Once again, everybody on the team was just so happy. Everyone was very excited for me. It was just a great moment to be a part of it.
Yeah.
I think the first person I saw for the head taps afterwards was Pesty, and you just see that big old Czech smile on him, and it was just really fun to be a part of it. And obviously it's a team game for a reason, and everyone helped me out. We got the W.
Great moment for him, but as I said, it was just, now we're back in the hunt, and again, we started this whole segment off here talking about the standings, and we're not in the position we want to be, but when you're in the hunt, you're in the hunt, and until somebody tells me we're not in the hunt, we're still going to go at it. And credit the guys. We could have folded this weekend, but the guys didn't, and I give them a lot of credit. And as I said, I think this guy beside me gave us a little bit of energy here on Sunday there to go where we wanted to, and we put ourselves in a position to be where we want to be. So this weekend's going to be a big weekend for us. But as I said, I was really pleased. As I said, I thought it was a great team effort, and we're pretty happy for the guy here to get the first big win.
Yeah. All right, let's go straight to the fan questions here to make sure we get this done. All right, so Chad, we'll start with you. This is how did you prepare for the weekend? And that probably doesn't change whether you're going to start or play or not play or whatever. So just take everyone through your typical kind of preparation and what that looked like.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, normally it's the same thing. Whether I'm backing up, starting, doesn't matter what's happening. I have the same routine. I wouldn't say I'm superstitious about anything. It's more of just making sure I do the right things. Especially on game days, I have my routine. Obviously, Harry give me some crazy looks sometimes when I'm doing my juggling and stretching, but yeah.
But I told him to be ready this weekend. When he was going in, I'll be honest with you, if you asked me on Friday night when he was going to play, I couldn't tell you. And it was all about the situation and when it was going to happen, or if it did happen. I went through 45 different scenarios of when maybe he was going to go in or when he wasn't going in, and as I said, I just basically said, in my mind was I'm going to wait for an opportunity, and as I said, it presented itself, and obviously we're all standing here happy for him.
Chad, what do you like to do besides hockey?
Besides hockey, honestly, I'm big just anything sports related. I love golf, I love baseball, just moving the body, working out. I'm just like to move around. Honestly, I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yeah. This question says, do you have a favorite restaurant yet?
Favorite restaurant?
You better say Little Italy. That's where we are.
Yeah, definitely Little Italy. Yeah. For sure.
You're not coming back.
Yeah, for sure.
I got a question here. It says, how many steps did I have to climb up to my perch in Florence? Quite a few. I didn't count them, but quite a few to get up there to where I called the game. And that was it's an interesting vantage point. You're in the corner there, but you're pretty high up, and it's not a bad place to see the game. As I mentioned on the broadcast, there's some different things you could see from being in the corner that maybe you wouldn't see if you were right on the red line. So, Coach, this question says, what was your favorite moment of the weekend? I know it's not to me, but if it was asked to me, I'd say it's this guy getting his first pro win.
Well, yeah, I think when the buzzer rang and we got back in the hunt and happy for him, but I'm happy for the whole team. I'm happy that we responded and for him to get what he did, that was just kind of like the cherry on top. You know what I mean? That was that just made it all even a little more special. But I asked the guys to respond on Sunday, and they did. And as I said, with his performance, we had the big Sunday, and we put the cherry on top for him. So that's what I was happy about the weekend.
Speaking of Sundays and cold stuff, we have a question specifically about the ice. That was a big topic over the weekend. Did they give you an explanation of kind of what was going on? And we were switching ends at one point.
Well, they had the rodeo there, I think, the weekend before there. And I don't know if anybody's been at arenas a week after that you have a rodeo. And I've done it a few times. And you're going to find sand. And I don't know how they clean the building or whatever, but I've been in buildings where they had a rodeo 3 weeks ago, and you walk into a room and there's still sand there. And once that sand, and the guys were doing the goals, there was sand everywhere. They had to, so it was on their shoes, I'm assuming. So and it was just a mess. And like even they had to actually clean our mats to go out onto the ice, before the game on Friday. And they did a good job, and they were trying to do their best they could, but it was a mess. And as I said, I don't know if they had the right products. We have a thing at our rink there where they drive that cart around and cleans all the floors all the time. They could have done that for 5 or 6 days, and I don't know if they would have cleaned it all up. So that was one of the issues. And then they put the goal on. They put brand new ice in, and they messed up with the goal. That's why we had to change at the end of the first period there, Saturday and Sunday. The first period we had to change there for the 10-minute mark. So
because it was off, right?
It was off there a little bit. Yeah,
it's like 3 inches or so.
Yeah.
I gotcha. This question says, and this probably could be for either one of you, was there a situation you think back in either of your careers that had really, really bad ice? Like, what was the worst conditions you have ever played in before?
Honestly, like another crazy game. It was like we beat the number 4 team in the nation.
Okay.
They had a literal, it was down to the cement in my crease. Wow. It was so I had to just battle around not putting my skate on the concrete, honestly.
Wow. We even PD the first time there, where that was bad ice. Over the years, you have some bad ice, or you go to arenas that are a little warmer or whatever, and they're down south, and the ice isn't very good. And as I said, you go to Columbus there, the boards are bad there because of the ice, or different rinks always have a problem. That rink there, the other night there, the ice in the one corner was bad. So, but it's bad for both teams, and you just got to fight through it.
Yep. Chad, when did you start playing hockey?
I believe I was 6 years old, and then I started playing goalie at 7.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why did you go to goalie?
Honestly, my brother, he was the first one in my family to play hockey, and he just needed someone to shoot on. So he did the stereotypical, put the helmet on, throw the pillows everywhere, and just start shooting pucks.
Let's put Chad in goal and shoot at him, isn't it? How did you start? I love that. That's a good one.
Who's your best friend on the team?
Best friend on the team?
Best friend, yeah.
I mean, I love everybody, I'm not going to lie to you. But I'd say most known, probably Mikey, since we played junior together for a year. I've known him for a while, so.
And I've got a question right here about Mikey. What's his status, Coach?
He's on the IR right now. He got a concussion, and he got hit twice in a row. And, when it comes to the head, you got to be cautious about it, and we don't. So he's off again this week, and I think he actually went to the doctor today. So we'll see where he's at, and we'll go from there.
Another injury-related question. It says, will Zach White be coming back this weekend?
I'm not sure yet. I wish I knew.
Chad, you mentioned about practice and getting ready for the game on the weekend. What's your typical routine been, knowing that up until this weekend you haven't had a lot of playing time, obviously, and I'm sure you just take it day by day, the same as you would. But I think that's also a question I had earlier about just how's it been being a pro so far. That's a big jump, and Coach talks about all the time, going from college to your first year here in pro.
Yeah, it's definitely more demanding than college, I would say, because college you have your classes, everything's pretty structured for you, and at pro you gotta really make the time for everything and just make sure you're doing the right things all the time.
Okay.
That's what I put it.
And Coach, I think something else that might need to be cleaned up on the score sheet. There were no stars of the game listed on Sunday, and the question about should Chad have been the first star? He would have been my first star, but
yeah, I mean,
that's
I mean, pretty tough not to give him that first star. And as I said, we probably could have given it to the other 18 guys, the other 2 stars. So, but for him not to get the star there in that game there, that's disappointing. I didn't realize that. So
well, yeah, they didn't have it for anybody. They've just not put any stars on at all. So we'll have to something else. We'll have to get on the scoring side of things.
The other, we probably could have had Chad as the first star, and then we could have had the rest of the team as the second star. But then all our fans who came, they could have been the third star.
So we can just stop right here. I was going to mention that in our last segment, but the way this thing's been, this probably is our last segment.
Some of our fans were cheering for us. I better watch it there.
No. It was good. That was great to see, and I mentioned that on the broadcast too. Thank you, each and every one of you. If you were there 1 game, 3 games, it was awesome to see everybody there. We really do appreciate that. That was really cool. We'll get to the next question here. Chad, this says, as a goalie, if you could have one rule change made, if you could make one rule change, whatever it is, maybe it's the net smaller, I don't know, what would you go with?
I was going to say, either the net smaller or we just have bigger equipment.
Bigger equipment.
Okay. Make it a little easier for us.
Yeah. This one says, if you weren't playing goalie, what position would you play?
Definitely forward, not gonna lie to you. Definitely a center. I move around a lot, so I want to play on both sides of the puck.
Okay. What's your favorite?
They stop goals or they want to score goals. There's no in between.
What's your favorite hockey slang term?
Slang term? There's so many. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I use butt a lot. I mean, it's just a big buddy.
Okay.
Yeah. There's so many slang terms. I use them constantly.
Coach, this one's for you. What's the strangest nickname of a player who you've coached?
The one player in Danville is and when he first came, he was from Belarus, and his name was Shapitsyn. And when he first came, I looked at the name and I said, I don't know how to do that. So I said Zippy.
Okay.
And so to this day, everybody still calls him Zippy. And he said Zippy, and I said, well, if you don't like Zippy, then you're not going on the ice, because I can't say Shapitsyn. And it took me 3 years to learn how to say Shapitsyn. So I said, if you don't, so he said, I take Zippy. I said, I take Zippy. So yeah, that has to be the. Yeah.
Okay, no, that's pretty good. Chad, this says, what player on the team would you not want to room with?
Not want to room with? Schnapper, yeah. And I room with him plenty.
All right.
We're still at 100%.
Yep.
We're still at 100%. I like it.
Pretty close to 100, yeah. Next question says, how many siblings do you have?
How many siblings? I have my older brother, then I have an older half sister as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
And they live at home, or they're?
My brother's back in Springfield, and my half sister's actually from Puerto Rico, but she lives in Texas now.
Oh, in Texas.
Yeah.
Where in Texas?
San Antonio.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good coach. All right. What's your favorite thing about playing hockey?
I mean, honestly, just
coach.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, just honestly, just being out there, hearing the sounds of the ice, being able to see, just like, I don't know, everything about it's just so much fun, and like, you can't really pick one thing, honestly.
Okay. All good. This question says, do you have a future rap career? One of our players is into that as a side hustle. I don't know if you know. But.
I do not. I do know who you're talking about, and I am not that talented in that aspect.
Yeah. Interesting question here, Coach. I'll try to clean this one up a little bit. It did make me laugh, though. The shots on goal tally seemed to be all over the place this weekend, and you know. In fact, I'm looking at the number of saves that he had here, yes. The number of saves he had changed after the end of the game to now. But it just seemed like they were doing a lot of updating during their missions, and it was kind of all over the place this weekend.
I give the people a lot of credit who try to do that. It's not an easy job sometimes, and they all volunteer. And some people might get paid, but I think most people volunteer. And do they do a great job? Sometimes I'd say no. Okay, but I always look at it, and I understand, from their standpoint, or a guy misses a goal or whatever, and especially the shots on goal, it can get frustrating. We went to, we were in, I think it was Blue Ridge the one night there, and I know we had 3 shots, and I looked up and it hadn't moved yet. So it can get frustrating, but as I said, they try to do their best, and as I said, I'd love to say they get to the top of the mountain, but they don't normally. And as I said, it's kind of frustrating. And what they don't understand is like, here's his first start, or his first 60 minutes or 80 minutes of hockey, and his stats are going to be disfigured, and when he wants to maybe move on or next year or whatever, and all of a sudden someone looks at his stats, and a lot of people love stats, and I like stats too, but I want to know more about the kid, and can he play or whatever. But those stats sometimes mean a lot. As I said, they're not just cherry picking. Those things mean a lot, especially when you're trying to build a resume, especially a young guy, to move on.
Thanks for your questions, Coach. We'll get into the next segment here and just talk about the games coming up against Monroe. Two tough games. A team that at one point had won 18 in a row this year, and we'll get to go see them for the first time this weekend.
Yeah, well, they were rolling. I think they've lost 4 in a row now, or 3 in a row, and lost in overtime. And I watched them, and it's going to be a little bit like playing against Petey. We're going to have to know, and we're going to have to play that very, very disciplined hockey game. They're very electric. They're very goal hungry, and they want the tempo speeded up. So we're going to have to play very well and be very disciplined offensively and defensively. And as I said, if they get a goal, they're going to have to earn it. And if they earn it, then you got to give them credit. But we can't give up any of those situations. The other night there, that one, we had 2 guys standing beside someone, and a goal like that, or turn a puck over, and I watched some tape today, and a guy turned the puck over almost in front of their net, and they shot it to a guy who was standing at the other blue line. So we're going to have to be very disciplined in those situations, but we've been playing that way. So I'm going down with a lot of confidence, and as I said, they're a good team. But as I said, I feel good about it, and we're going to walk in there and do our best.
Chad, thanks for doing this. Hope you had fun.
Thank you. I definitely did.
Yeah, good. All good. All right, Coach, unless you have anything else.
I'd love to thank the fans for coming there the other day. The people don't realize how important that, or how much it helps, and how much the players enjoy about it. But we appreciate their support, and I know we haven't had a home game for a little bit, but we're looking forward to the 27th. But we're going to go to Monroe, and we're going to give our best, and we're going to stay in the hunt. That's all I can say.
All right, thanks, everyone. Thank you.